This man is retired, but not relaxed. Kobe Bryant recently launched the Mamba Sports Academy. It's a holistic multi-sport training facility in L.A. for young athletes. Rachel Nichols was there recently. She brought along Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady to talk about why NBA players do have a right to make trade demands, why Kobe says McGrady was the hardest player he ever had to defend against, and whether James Harden can carry the Rockets to a championship.
Bryant against McGrady. Oh, what a spectacular tear. McGrady. Oh, what a dunk by Kobe. McGrady versus Kobe Bryant. Wow.
What was it like going against each other?
I loved it because I knew I was going to get his best. I had to come and play against this dude every single possession. Like, there's no relaxing. I had to stay locked in, especially the 02-03 season when I led the league in scoring. And this dude rung off like 9 straight 40 points. I was like, oh, hell no. I can't let him come get me for the scoring title. I might not win a championship this year, but I'm damn sure getting this scoring title.
And they ask about the hardest player I ever had to defend. I said, it's a pretty easy one. It was Tracy, because he could do everything I could do. 3, left shoulder, right shoulder, mid-range, the whole thing. But he was taller.
James Harden with 61 points.
Another 50-burger here for James Harden on consecutive home games.
Since the NBA-ABA merger, there are only 3 humans on Earth who have had these crazy scoring streaks of 30 points or more over and over and over again. You had it 14 games in a row, you had it 16 games in a row, and James Harden, of course, crazy streak this season. What do you think of what he's doing right now?
Well, I think he has to do what he has to do in order for his team to win championships. I don't think that style is ever going to win championships. But at the same time, you have to keep your team's head above water to win games. So you have to do what you have to do to win games, and he's doing that.
So are you saying you don't think James Harden and the Rockets, as constructed, can win a title?
Not with this style of play, it won't win, right? With one player dominating the ball. Because listen, if you take one player, you put him at the top of the key, or you put him on the wing, and you're running screen rolls, you're always in front of the defense. The defense can key on that, particularly in the playoffs. And that's easy to defend.
Yeah.
It's easy to defend. Now, what he's doing is absolutely remarkable, though. And I think it's a testament to how remarkable it is, because people are now trying to minimize what it is that he's doing. I mean, he's doing some phenomenal stuff, man.
Anthony Davis wants out of the Big Easy.
He has requested a trade.
You went on the radio once and said you wanted to be traded from L.A. What do you think of AD wanting out of New Orleans?
Well, he's got a right to do what the hell he wants to do. I mean, listen, it's, teams have the right to trade players. Players should have the freedom to be able to say and voice their opinion. Now, you can agree with it, you can disagree with it, but AD still has the right to say what he wants to say.
You spend 6 or 7 years and you feel like you're not competing for a championship. Like, at some point, you're going to want to get the hell out of there and go to an organization that is serious about winning. I dealt with that, right? I dealt with that in Orlando. I mean, you see your friends winning championships, and, that's the ultimate goal.
All right, so Mr. Laker, how aggressive should this week's Los Angeles Lakers be about getting Anthony Davis?
You know, great basketball players don't make good GMs.
So said the guy with Magic Johnson running his franchise.
He's the president. Rob's the GM.
Do you want your team to make a big push for AD? How aggressive should they be?
It depends on what you're trying to accomplish and what your long-term objectives are. Now, by signing LeBron, you're already making an indication that you want to win now. Right, so I think it'd be a smart thing to do for the Lakers to look at that, right? But at the same time, you got to play a little bit of poker, right?
I'll change the subject for you. I want to ask you about LeBron.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence that he had the worst stretch of games out, the worst injury of his career went after he turned 34. You snapped your Achilles at age 34. What do you think LeBron's timeline is, and the pressure that puts on the Lakers in terms of their overall timeline?
He's fine. I mean, it just depends how he adapts his game. Because at some point you have to evolve. So the speed and the power that he's used to playing with has to change, which he can, because now he has a God-given size to be able to adapt and go to below the free throw line, use more of a power game. And he's more than capable of doing that and playing for a long, long time.
Michael Jordan played when he was 40. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played when he was 40. Vince Carter is out there playing when he's 42.
Incredible. Still winning.
Do you guys think, maybe I could still go back out there and do it?
I played one pickup game and hurt me, I tried at the house Monday. I was playing. Hurting. Oh.
If I wanted to, I could. I don't want to.
You're sure?
I'm sure.
The
I'm
love
sure.
is gone.
If I wanted to, I could. With the technology, nutrition, studies, all the things that you have now, you could certainly do it. I just don't want to.
All right, let's get back to the usage rate that Kobe Bryant touched on here. The highest for Kobe in a season where he actually won the title, it was 32%. That 2010 season, the 7th highest in any season of his career. We put him there on the screen. Harden's usage rate is at 40% this season. So what does the Beard think about what Kobe had to say?
I mean, I have to be ball dominant just because we have injuries. You know, we had injuries throughout the course of the year. So, but when we get Chris, you know, in the rhythm and Eric back and get our full roster, we got multiple guys that can make plays, multiple guys that can dominate the ball. So, I mean, for right now, he's probably right. You know, this way that we're playing won't happen in the play. Won't get us to where we want to go. But we haven't had a full roster yet. So, I'm excited for that to come.
All right, to see more of Rachel's convo with those two NBA legends, including why Kobe says he actually beat T-Mac one-on-one, which Tracy denies ever happened. The Jump, today, 3 Eastern, ESPN.
Come on, guys. It's not rocket science. I would love to play with a lot of great players. That's just who I am.
Great look by James Davis for a two-hand jam. James to the basket. James. Alley-oop, and Davis will put it down.
I am Nicole. That's who I am. He says his name is Bobby Marks. I believe him. Okay, look, LA has reportedly, according to Woj, upped its offer in an attempt to get Anthony Davis in their preferred uniform. They've offered Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball 2 first-round picks in exchange for Davis and some contract support. But they're going to have to do better because the Pelicans haven't even countered an offer yet. What kind of a deal would actually make sense for both teams?
Well, I think we first have to look at what their assets are right now. We've talked about the first-round picks right now. Right now, the Lakers are willing to offer 2. New Orleans wants 4. That's a lot. That would be 4 unprotected first-round picks. The young players, Ingram, Ball, Kuzma. Okay, that checks off one of the boxes. The expiring contracts, those are more just cap fillers. Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley, Lance Stevenson. The likelihood those players never even get to New Orleans. So that's just to make the money work. Here's the problem. By taking a player like Solomon Hill back, that's a concession. This number for next summer goes to there. And how do you fill out your roster? That is the decision. And this is a big sticking point. Two first-round picks to go up to 4 right now.
Okay, so if they would make a deal happen, the big question is what's left? What does the Lakers roster even look like? Because you've got Anthony Davis and you've got LeBron James. I get it. That looks awesome, but you've given up. These guys aren't there. They're gone.
No, they're not. And we can put Anthony Davis where Kyle Kuzma is. We'll put Kentavious Caldwell-Pope where Lonzo Ball. We'll put Adeka Zubac where Tyson Chandler. You still have Josh Hart. And this is your roster right now. We haven't even talked about their depth. Their depth would be depleted. And as we mentioned before, you've got $15 million in cap space to go out and fill all the holes, this upcoming summer.
I mean, LeBron has probably done more with less in past years.
In the East, though.
You make a good point. That's Bobby Marks. There are 2 days until the trade deadline. We'll see what happens. It is Thursday at 3 Eastern. And keep in mind, SportsCenter will be live 7 a.m. Eastern to 1 o'clock Eastern, leading you into a 3-hour trade deadline special.
Come on, guys. It's not rocket science. I would love to play with a lot of great players. That's just who I am.
Great look by James Davis for a two-hand jam. James to the basket. James. Alley-oop, and Davis will put it down.
More things to talk about than just the Super Bowl. Woj is here. The NBA trade deadline is this week. It's Thursday, 3 p.m. Anthony Davis is still, at least at this moment in time, a member of the Pelicans. He'd like to be a Laker. The Lakers would like him. Where do those trade talks stand?
Well, the Lakers made an offer last week. They gave him they gave New Orleans a few variations of offers, none that really bowled the Pelicans over. They're going to talk again this week, and the Lakers know that their offer is going to have to increase. They're going to have to put multiple first-round picks in it. They're probably going to have to take a bad salary or 2 back from the Pelicans, and they're going to have to, unload if most, if not all of their young players, good young players, into a deal to get the Pelicans to do this by Thursday, because the Pelicans can roll this over into the offseason when they can have presumably Boston involved. And the trade talks in Boston has a bigger war chest of assets to offer New Orleans, so that the Lakers are going to have to, between now and Thursday, get more aggressive with their offers.
I mean, if you're the Lakers, you look at what the Cavaliers are now, right? And what life post-LeBron is if you deal all your young assets, and then you're back in the lottery game. If it's not Anthony Davis, it's some other big names who could move ahead of the deadline. Fill in some of the blanks for us there.
Well, Memphis, they've made Marc Gasol, Mike Conley available, and they've engaged with a number of teams on both players, and I think they would like to have one of them moved by the trade deadline, if not both. Connolly's got 2 years, $67 million left on his contract at 31 years old. That has narrowed the market a little bit, but there's a lot of interest in Connolly, and then Marc Gasol could opt out of his contract, become a free agent this summer, but there's contenders with both teams who are kind of kicking the tires on that one and seeing what it will cost. I think both of those go down to the wire on Thursday.